Hello, this is Dr. Garrett Castleberry, Program Director for Communication, Media, and Ethics here at Mid-America Christian University. I am here with our Week 4 video discussion for prompt for COM 3603 Mass Communication Perspectives. This week we have a pair of readings, as we have all course long, that come from Arthur Asaberger's Media and Society, as well as Kathleen Glenister Roberts' Communication Theory and Millennial Popular Culture, Essays and Applications. And what we're trying to do with those books is squeeze some remaining utility out of them. They're both texts introduced at one of our entry-level courses, COM 2 and 1-3, and you don't have to have that exposure prior to this course, but for those in it for the long haul, you're getting doubly rewarded. And so we are returning to some of the loose chapters we did not finish there to get that extra exposure to mass communication perspectives. I want to read a quick excerpt from this week's chapter out of Berger. It's chapter 7, and talk about mass communication perspectives. I feel like one of Berger's strengths is that he is able to give us a diverse array. Okay, and so I want to read from the bottom of 121 to the top of 122, following paragraph. He's talking about the mass culture hypothesis, myth or reality. And so he goes into some example counterexamples at the international level especially. Our intellectuals and deep thinkers on cultural matters, especially those found in literature departments and communication departments, now bend their knees to French cultural theorists more than those from other countries. In the 50s, it was German thinkers, many of whom were escaping from the Nazis who dominated our theorizing, as I shall explain shortly. Read on. Today, we derive many of our concepts and ideas as far as cultural criticism is concerned from the likes of Roland Barthes, Claude Lévi-Strauss, Jean Baudrillard, Jacques Derrida, Jean-Francois Lyotard, and one could go on and on here, with a few Russians, Bulgarians, Italians, Germans, and others bringing up the rear, so to speak. Here's what we want from you in week 4, end quote. In week 4, I want you to think back on many of the different ideas we've read about. It could be from just this week's readings, or across this course, or even been back further if you've been around the major for a while. And here's what I want. I want a point, counterpoint from each one of you. Point would be an intellectual, a thinker or theorist from the U.S., and sort of how might they bring a strength or perhaps a weakness in being able to assess their own culture, that is to say, our shared culture, versus a foreign mind. So maybe this requires looking into our authors a little bit deeper and figure out how do they relate to us. In other words, what is a benefit and a detriment to critiquing another person or person's cultural groups, or even popular cultural artifacts, that sort of thing. So a comparison and contrast, domestic, international, intellectuals, theorists, and what are some strengths and weaknesses. I want to give us some room to play with this. Excited to see what we come up with in week 4, COM 3603, Mass Communication Perspectives. Thank you.